Hey there! Today we're diving into a pretty big secret of the professional world, the hidden job market. This is where a huge chunk of jobs get filled before they ever hit a job board. And stick around because we're going to show you exactly how to find them. Okay, so let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You spend hours getting your resume just right, you write that amazing cover letter, and you hit submit on application after application, only to send them into this, black hole online. Days go by, maybe even weeks, and all you hear is crickets. It's so frustrating, right? Makes you wonder if anyone is even looking. Well, guess what? There's a really good reason it feels that way. Just look at this number for a second. 70%. Let that sink in. This one stat could completely change the way you think about finding a job. Because 70%, that's how many jobs are already filled before they're ever posted for you to see. And that is what we call the hidden job market. You know, the best way to think about it is like an iceberg. All those job listings you see online, that's just the tiny little tip sticking out of the water. The real opportunity, the huge, massive part of the job market, is everything that's hidden underneath. And that is exactly where we're headed. All right, so let's dig into what we're calling this 70% problem. And honestly, even though it sounds like a problem, it's really a huge opportunity if you know what to do. Think about it. If you're only applying to jobs online, you're fighting tooth and nail for just 30% of the roles out there. So what is the hidden job market, really? It's pretty simple. It's just all the jobs that get filled without ever being advertised. Companies might promote someone from within, or they'll hire someone based on an employee referral, or they just tap into their own professional networks. The point is, these jobs are gone long before the public even hears about them. Okay, so that brings up a really good question. Why? I mean, why wouldn't a company want to post a job and get as many applicants as possible? But you know what? When you flip it around and look at it from their side, it starts to make a whole lot of sense. So let's break down why companies love this. On the one hand, you've got public job postings. They cost a ton of money for ads, for recruiters, and they take forever. I mean, can you imagine sorting through hundreds, maybe even thousands of resumes? But on the other hand, hiring through your network, it's way faster, it's cheaper, and you usually get much better people. A referral is basically a pre-vetted candidate. Someone on the inside is already saying, yeah, this person is great. That's a huge deal for finding the right fit. And the numbers totally back this up. If you're referred by someone, you are 4 times more likely to get that job offer. 4 times. And just think about this. The vast majority of employers in the US, like 99.9%, are small businesses. A lot of them just hire informally through people they know. And then, of course, there are those super sensitive roles like replacing a CEO or working on a top secret project. There's no way they're posting that online. Okay, so now we get the what and the why. So the big question is, how do you get in on this? Well, it all starts with a really important shift in how you think. You've got to go from being a passive applicant to a proactive networker. I really love this quote because it cuts right through all the noise. For so many of us, the word networking just sounds, ugh. It makes you think of being fake or asking people for favors. But that's not what it's about at all. It's about making genuine connections. It's about being curious, learning from other people, and building real relationships, not just trying to collect names. All right, enough theory. Let's get into the practical stuff. This is your playbook, your step-by-step guide to tapping into that hidden 70%. And I promise, we're going to make it super clear and totally doable. We've broken it all down into 3 main steps. Step 1 is all about boosting your digital presence so people can find you. Step 2 is about making those real-world connections. And step 3, well, that's kind of the secret weapon, informational interviews. So let's jump in. Okay, first up, your digital presence. Think of it as your professional storefront that's open 24/7. Your LinkedIn profile has to be packed with the right keywords for the job you want. That's how recruiters find you in the first place. But here's the real key. You can't just be a lurker. You have to engage. So when you see a company you're interested in post something, don't just hit like. Leave a smart comment. Ask a good question. That's how you go from being invisible to being on their radar. You have to join the conversation. Now, being online is crucial, but it's not everything. You still have to make those human connections. Go to industry events. Webinars and virtual meetups totally count. And reach out to people you already know. Old coworkers, people from school, your mentors. Here's a little pro tip for you. When you get in touch, don't just immediately ask for help. Lead by giving. Share a cool article or congratulate them on something they've done. It completely changes the dynamic and makes it feel real. And hey, don't forget your family and friends. You'd be surprised who they know. All right, on to step 3 and this one. This one is a game changer. It's the informational interview. Now, let's be super clear. This is not a job interview. You're not asking for a job. You're there to learn, to gather inside info. You ask smart questions, stuff you can't just find on Google, like what are their biggest challenges? What skills are actually important? And here it is, the most important part. At the end of the chat, you have to ask the magic question. Ready? It's, who else should I speak with? Seriously, that one question can take one conversation and turn it into a whole network of new contacts. So it's really important to get this next part. This whole strategy isn't just some quick fix to find a job right now. This is about playing the long game. You're building an asset, something that's going to help you for your entire career. This kind of lays it all out. When you're looking for a job, yeah, you're in build mode, making connections. But it doesn't just stop once you get hired. That first year in the new role, that's when you focus on nurturing those connections, keeping them warm. And after that, it just becomes a regular part of your career, maintaining, growing, and even helping others out. That's how networking stops being a chore you only do when you're desperate and becomes a habit. A habit that means your next opportunity might just come knocking on your door. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Is your network for your next job, or is it for your entire career? Because how you answer that, well, that really changes everything.